Hello, Uta here of Trans Widow Uta Hagen YouTube channel and Substack, utahagen.substack.com. I will put my WordPress blog link in the notes, and also the method for getting in touch with me is in the notes as well. I am hoping that we'll have more trans widows requesting my survey, 20 questions to ask a trans widow. So, what is this that I'm holding? This is a pot of just dug up, therefore floppy snowdrops. And spring is starting to come. I have daffodils coming up and lots of snowdrops starting to bloom. I think tomorrow is going to be warm and sunny. I might even see my first bees of the season. And I think that by this coming weekend or something, that I will actually have daffodils blooming. So I will put these back here. I'm going to give them to the director of a singing group that I go to now, and she said that she's homeschooling her children, which I highly recommend at this point in time of too much gender unicorn in the schools. And so she said she's homeschooling her children and she doesn't have any snowdrops. And so I'm going to give these to her later tonight. Now, it seems to me that I have more subscribers. Welcome to new subscribers and welcome back to my loyal stalwarts. This is probably in response to my interview with Ray at Ray Alex Williams' YouTube channel. He is a detransitioner, and I am aware that he has gone through some phases in his life, as many who believed years ago in, a cross-sex identity. And I think he recognizes that he had a pornography addiction, and he's finding that Catholicism is helping him to pull himself away from that. It gives him a different kind of spirituality, and I think that our discussion was revealing of the harms. I want to especially point out the detail that I was unaware of until he mentioned it, which is that when a man takes exogenous estrogen, such as estradiol, orally, uh, the actually, it could be that in all forms of it, it's likely that actually all forms of it cause this because the estrogen, the wrong sex hormone in males, um, causes a little bit of, you could say, muscle atrophy or muscle weakness. It causes a redistribution of fat. It causes breast development and maybe a little bit more fat carried, adipose tissue, as they say, carried in the hips as opposed to in the different configuration that the more natural and normal configuration that it has for men. And that is sort of the I guess, motivation for that sex trait modification. Apparently, another motivation is to have softer skin. Um, I don't quite understand that. I don't think men have such rough skin, but anyway. The side effect that he discovered after a few years was that he had a weakness in his pelvic floor, in the muscles of his pelvic floor, and he had incontinence symptoms. That means he had little pee-pee leaks. And that was not told him, and I have never heard that before. That's the kind of thing that people don't like to talk about. But I think it's important to recognize that is a risk, and nobody wants to have that. Yes, so spring is really on its way. I'm doing a lot of work outside. I believe that I had a sort of via Facebook um, troll because I had two requests, friend requests. And when I tried to click no on this, decline on this, then I got this crazy message and I had to shut down my computer. So I'm hoping that I've resolved that problem. And as a result of that, I'm going to take a little break from Facebook. I was never particularly active on Facebook or didn't have a lot of followers or whatever. Um, but that's the risk I take. That is why we trans widows have to protect ourselves with pen names and we can't say our locations and all this kind of thing. I've been thinking that if one day I had some kind of a grant to help trans widows, that I would love to have my little place, my little house in the Little Woods, be a retreat for trans widows. But I have also been thinking about the fact that, you know, in one third of the cases that I now have documented, of our 67 of us trans widows, in one third of the cases, husband is violent. And so I think that in a way, what we have to do is we have to watch society continue to evolve and the truths about this medical malpractice and mental health malpractice to surface. And I've seen some commenters, such as the YouTuber Michael Gold, whose YouTube channel I recommend, Michael Gold Heretics. Not Michael, Andrew Gold Heretics. I have heard him say, well, I think we're past that all now. And it's, you know, drifting away, evaporating. I don't see that happening so fast. Yes, we do have our new administration in the states putting forth these executive orders, which state that we have male and female, and that's what we have. We have two sexes. I wish he would say sexes instead of gender, but uh, gender and sex are used in a way equivalently, except for the ideologues who say no, gender is the way you feel, whereas sex is your body. And it's like, yes, that's right, sex is your body. The reality of your body is such that you don't want to take risks that you're going to later be taking hormones that cause you to have pee-pee accidents. And for females, taking testosterone, they are risking vaginal atrophy, which is actually quite painful. And postmenopausal women sometimes experience that. And, you shouldn't experience atrophy of your internal organs when you are only in your 20s. So I'm hoping you'll see this. Do please like and subscribe and share. And if you do see this, I guess it means that I have thwarted those trolls and that I've sort of fixed this problem. But I guess it means that I've gotten to some people. Typically, when trolls come on and start making all kinds of claims and making all kinds of accusations of me, I tell these truthful details, such as the incontinence problems and the blood clot risks and the cardiac, heart attack risks for men taking estrogen, the fact that my ex-husband Nettie's family history in the males in that line is that his father had 2 heart attacks and 2 strokes. survived them, lived into his late 80s, but his the younger his uncle, the father's younger brother, also had heart attacks, and this is very, very contraindicated for uh, males with any kind of history like that. And I'm adding the detail that if you are going to some gender clinic as a male and asking for female hormones, you're most likely not old enough to know whether the males in your family have that history, because your father has probably not reached the age where uh, his cardiac issues are going to come up. And a lot of times the generations before that, died from other things, or they were smokers, so there were complicating factors. And what we have to do is just continue to broadcast and advertise these details, which the medical profession is going to have to recognize. I suggest write non-threatening, snail mail, anonymous letters giving all these details with a list of detransitioners. Thank you all. Do go outside and enjoy the change of seasons. I am very busy raking all the leaves off of my emerging spring bulbs and looking up into the trees to see if they're starting to leaf out. I think that will happen in about 3 weeks. And I will let you know if I get any further profiles of trans widows. Please do contact me. Consider contacting me if you had decided not to let me profile you, or if you hadn't left yet and I couldn't profile you because you were still under the same roof with him. Maybe you've escaped and made your departure from that purgatory now. Anyway, everyone, be well. There are several recorded interviews on other platforms that I'm waiting to be published. Ray kind of did it right away, and he's already got something like 1,100 views on that. That's kind of interesting. I really do think that the netties of the world who still think that they are a man with a female brain born into a male body, I think that they're having a very hard time with these realities. They find it very, very upsetting, but the fact is it could be that next week, or in 6 weeks, or in 6 months, or in 3 years, you will decide it's all too exhausting, and you will also detransition. And you don't have to blame only yourself. It is the doctors who have made grievous errors. Now, back out to the garden.